The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks, go.
Hey, shout out to Surrey, British Columbia, okay? Shout out to Green Timber. Shout out to Mirage, a.k.a. Tap House. Shout out to the Guildford Boston Pizza. Shout out to Surrey Central Mall. Have y'all ever been to Surrey Central Mall? Don't go to Surrey. Okay, you know what? One love to Surrey.
Your Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yo. We doing this. Even at 11 o'clock at night, we got to do this. Kyle Bowen, Locked On Canucks, the postgame show. And again, this time it's on Locked On Canucks. We still doing this while we pick up that other feed. More info on that in the bio below. Nonetheless, who cares about me? Go Canucks, go. Straight up. It's your Canucks every day. You're addicted to the Canucks. I'm addicted to the Canucks. And they doing something right now. And that's going on a bit of a streak. Before we get started, one love to the Don't Doze Art Lab, okay? For real. The Art Lab gives you that West Coast bias on the daily. Because we gotta. We were taught well. Again, shout out to Green Timbers Elementary. One love to Surrey. Surrey showed out tonight. Arshdeep Baines, his first in the NHL. The game-winning goal. A big one. I would even say a polarizing one. And that's outside of the Surrey note, okay? More on that in a couple of minutes. But, man, oh, man, Arshdeep Baines, the rhetoric, right, about Baines via X, via Twitter, via the comments. A lot of negativity, a lot of boredom, a lot of questioning why he's still playing games for the Vancouver Canucks, not the Abbotsford Canucks, okay? And it's a little confusing to me because I've been watching the games, and I like to think that you are watching the games too. And recently, in his NHL history, he barely is making mistakes. And you know the deal, right? Tocchet loves mistake-free hockey. He also loves Arshdeep Baines. This is the dude that got sent down at the end of training camp, and Rick Tocchet does what? Co-signs the Surrey kid. Pretty much says he's coming back up ASAP, and that has been the case. Again, mistake-free hockey, a Rick Tocchet favorite, and somebody who, if he gets warm, starts feeling himself, starts playing with some confidence, can be a bit of an X factor for this Vancouver Canucks team. Again, he plays mistake-free, but Arshdeep Baines is in the NHL and is going to get a chance in the NHL to be a long-time NHLer if he is able to be more instinctual. Play with his confidence. Play what got him to be one of Connor Bedard's favorite players. Again, do the math. This dude is something else. And as Kurt Richardson is saying, okay, he plays sound hockey and the production will follow. This is always true. And what, again, is true is the cosign from future Hall of Famer Rick Tocchet, okay? Rick Tocchet, one of the biggest hockey nerds in NHL history, has played with so much talent. And for some reason, right, according to some, he has this, I would say, love for Arshdeep Baines. His mind is going off when it comes to what type of player this guy can be in the lineup, even after the game, right? The local story, the local star, gets another cosign from the coach of the year. Rick Tocchet touches on his goal as being a fourth liner, but right away talks about how this is a dude who can use his speed to be used throughout the lineup. And we've already seen that with Arshdeep Baines this year, and we saw it with them last year as well. He's gotten some time with JT Miller. He's gotten some time with Brock Besser. I always say it, man, but do the math. There's a world where we see that again this season. And if he's playing confident with his offensive instincts, I wonder what can happen. For, again, the local story, Arshdeep Baines. And the biggest story, okay? Get this story. This is something else. Driving home from the rink. One love to the sports bar at Rogers Arena, okay? Good place. Enjoyed myself. Anywho, driving home from the rink, got the homie in the car. The homie wants to get on Sportsnet 650, okay? He doesn't want to get on Locked On Canucks. This guy wants to get on Sportsnet 650. He wants to get on the postgame show. He's trying to make a phone call, okay? And the producer of that show didn't let him through. And not because he was being a rowdy Surrey boy. He was being a proud Surrey boy. But apparently, the local story aspect of whatever Arshdeep Baines just did wasn't good enough because we played the Pittsburgh Penguins, okay? He should have done it against the 80s Oilers, okay? And then we could have talked about Arshdeep Baines on the phone lines. I can't believe it. This is one of the coolest stories in hockey, and especially involving the Vancouver Canucks. A kid from Surrey, a brown kid, a Punjabi kid from Surrey, okay, just scored a goal for the Vancouver Canucks. That's crazy. If people want to talk about that and get on the phone lines to do so, let them do it. Who cares if they just played the Pittsburgh Penguins, yo? Not a formidable team. A joke of a team. Not much of a point to be made if you're only wanting to talk about Arshdeep Baines being that guy and scoring in Game 7 of the regular season. Scoring the game-winning goal. Man, oh man. Come on. Now look at this comment from Matt Blom. New commenter, okay? You're going to get at least 10 to 20 Punjabi kids to make the World Juniors or junior hockey 10 to 15 years after tonight. Boom, bam. This story matters. Surrey, a kid from Surrey, infamous Surrey, right? A lot of y'all don't cross the port, man. Why? Because y'all watch the news. Crazy. Y'all rather walk down East Hastings, which I love East Hastings. Okay? I'm trying to clean up the streets. Power to the people. I love my neighbors, but y'all don't want to cross the Portman Bridge. Because Surrey, right? Nothing good happens in Surrey. Arshdeep Baines is a Rick Tocchet favorite. He scored a goal. If anyone wants to call into the postgame show to talk about Arshdeep Baines, you got to let them do it. It's Game 7 of the regular season. The Canucks have been good for 13 months, 14 months. Who cares if we beat the Pittsburgh Penguins? Winning at this stage of the Canucks' tenure climbing up to relevancy, it still matters. Any team the Canucks defeat, a team that's been good for 10 seconds, is worthy enough to, again, draw a point like that and bring it up in a postgame show. Arshdeep Baines from Surrey just scored a goal. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. And I'm a Hindu from Surrey, okay? I'm not even Punjabi, okay? But one of the first words I learned that wasn't English or Hindi, it wasn't French, it wasn't bonjour. I'm going to butcher this because I have a problem, but it's Sat Sri Akal, okay? Come on. This matters. Unreal, okay? A local story wasn't enough to use as your thesis to call into a post-game show after Game 7 of the Canucks 2024 regular season. Sportsnet 650. Come on, we've been good for 13 months. Who cares if we beat the Pittsburgh Penguins? You know what I'm saying? Every game matters. We're still trying to prove ourselves. We're still that team. We're not that team yet. Do the math. Unreal, dude. I can't believe it. That's not fun, man. That is not fun. Nux fan 77, man, saying Kyle is for the fans. Okay, making a stop by the lab to make a video, okay? Of course, because a promise is a promise, whether it's on my own network or it's on Locked On Canucks, because Locked On Canucks and the Locked On Podcast Network, I'm telling you, man, they care about the fans. I love the people at the Locked On Podcast Network. Good people, and they care about the neighbors and the people and the community, and we got to keep our promises, and it's always going to be Kyle Bowen talking to the people after the game. Man, oh, man. Nux fan 77 saying Patello is what the real ones cross. Dude, are you serious, man? I got to do my grades tomorrow and update the blog. Link in the bio. I got to put that on a shirt. Unreal, man. This matters. We'll read more of your comments and talk about the rest of the game. Man, oh, man. One left to Arshdeep Baines. Really putting on for the neighbors. Straight up, man. It's gonna be what? Brick by brick, okay? The perception of Surrey will change. Again, individually speaking, that's what we're trying to do. Collectively speaking, again, that's what we're trying to do. And that's why I say, man, at the end of every episode or throughout the episodes, man, you got to look after your neighbors. How are we going to change the world if we don't do that? One left to Surrey, Arshdeep Baines looking after his neighbors and inspiring the people, man, not just the youth, okay? The people. I'm feeling gassed up, okay? For real. Anything is possible. Arshdeep Baines just scored for the Vancouver Canucks. beautiful times. Let's give a shout out to two of our sponsors on the post-game show here on Locked On Canucks. We'll get back to your comments. And go Canucks, go!
You know the deal, baby. If you're buying tickets, whether it's for the Canucks, whether it's for the Senators, whether it's for burlesque shows, you make sure you go check that out on Gametime, okay? There's no other place you should be buying tickets aside from Gametime. They got that lowest price guarantee, baby, meaning you won't find tickets for cheaper anywhere else. And as if they could get any better, now Gametime is stepping it up further with this new feature called Gametime Picks. They make getting tickets for your favorite live events even easier. Gametime Picks, they filter out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. So sit back, relax, scratch your sack, and pick your tickets on Gametime, okay? They got the seat views on the app, they got that lowest price guarantee, and they got that Gametime ticket coverage. So if the Rona hits again, you know you're going to get your money back and you're covered with Gametime. So there's no other place to go. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Go download that Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Gametime today. What time is it? Gametime. All right. From the tickets to the daily fantasy sports, okay? And that's why we got PrizePicks on board. PrizePicks, they got over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings to give away to you and you and you and you, okay? So on PrizePicks, you can win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. It's that easy, baby. More time to sit back, relax, and scratch your sack with PrizePicks. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Do you think Elias Pettersson will score more than 1 goal against the Pittsburgh Penguins on Saturday night? Will Kevin Lankinen get a second shutout? Make those bets on PrizePicks, baby, okay? So again, go to PrizePicks, download the app today, and use code LOCKEDONNHL to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game.
People, we back doing this and giving you Surrey's official Canucks show, Locked On Canucks. One love to you and you and you and you. Also, one love to Trevor Beggs, who's not with us today. No, he didn't die. He's just sleeping, okay? He's resting. He's a family man, takes care of 2 kids, and watches hockey full time. And is a husband. I don't even know how he does it. Straight up, how old is this guy? 31 and a half years old. Mission impossible. Again, though, one love to the Don't Doze Art Lab for allowing us to give you that West Coast bias all the time. Let's get to the comments and talk about this game, okay? You watched the game as well. It wasn't just me. This is your show as well. Let's go again to Matt Blom saying that Arshdeep is an inspiration. Matt Blom, is your name Matt Blom or Blom Deep, dude? What's going on here? I love it, man. This is what I'm talking about. This matters to hockey, okay? Arshdeep is an inspiration. He seems humble and a true fan of the game of hockey. I think a lot of us grew up playing street hockey with a guy like him. Holy, with a guy like him, I like that. It's the truth. And you know what? I already gassed Arshdeep Baines up, and I smoked that West Coast bias and talked about how the inspiration is so high right now based on what he did tonight. Basically what he's been doing for the last 2 years. All in all, though, this dude is incredibly humble. And there was this a segment from I think yesterday's episode of Canucks Talk. Thomas Drance was talking about how, and I might be paraphrasing, but what I took from it was this, okay? Arshdeep Baines and the Canucks, they think that this dude has such a pure love for the game of hockey. Like, he's such a hockey nut. You know how we see Quinn Hughes? And again, I'm paraphrasing here, but you know how we see Quinn Hughes and we see this guy just being so addicted to hockey? It seems as if Baines may be wired the same way. And maybe that's why, again, Tocchet has somewhat of an affection for this guy, right? The hockey nerd, they relate. And again, the humility, him being humble. If I'm correct, I was at Rogers Arena, right? Shout out to the sports bar. I believe this guy was the first star of the game. I didn't get the post-game speech. I don't know why. What happened there? Why didn't the translator wasn't there? Why wasn't he talking after the game? Anywho, this guy didn't do a big lap. Got, again, first star of the game. He's from Surrey, Vancouver Canuck. Doesn't do a big lap. I wouldn't even say doesn't even quote unquote soak it all in from the vantage points that I was seeing it at, right? From being a fan. But I believe this deal, even though it's a big deal, like a really big deal, to him, he doesn't want to portray that because he's taking this one game at a time. It's game 7 of the regular season. He's a Vancouver Canuck. So what if I scored my first goal Let's just keep winning as a team. He seems like a team guy. Nothing about this moment inside that dressing room is spotlight worthy in his eyes. And that's a beautiful thing. Hockey nerd, man. I like this guy. Arshdeep Baines, man. And Matt Blom also saying Arshdeep is just relatable. What can I say? Hey, he's relatable, man. Trust. I know the feeling. Nux man saying 3 goals in 1 minute and 5 seconds. And what's the math on the 4 goals? Like how 4 goals in like 4 minutes, 5 minutes? What a rush of adrenaline. And on that note, Rick Tocchet talking about how he believed that stretch of hockey was the best this team's ever played on the rush while he's been head coach of the Vancouver Canucks. And again, I know they played Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh sucks. They're such a bad hockey team right now. But it's the steps, right? The steps you got to take. Again, the building blocks, getting better game by game. And I keep saying this because it's a fact, and you got to warn the people. But again, the Canucks have only been good for 10 seconds for 13 months. Real talk. And even though they pull off things against bad teams, you still got to take something from it and understand that this team is taking steps. And it wasn't that long ago where there wasn't a lot of professionalism on and off the ice here, but we're seeing that on a more consistent basis. And it's a beautiful thing. You can feel it in the building. You can feel it in the air. You can feel it with you and you and you and you and you. It's like for certain that you're cheering for a good hockey team again. And for that reason, we are so blessed. Okay. For real. Mike talking about Myers and the 1,000 game celebration. A beautiful moment. I did see on Twitter that Miller might have let Myers wear the A tonight. Normally only the thing when one of the assistants are injured, man. Miller is just a great teammate, okay? For real. What a leader. What a change of narrative. All that being said, Tyler Myers, man. I'm trying to be a Tyler Myers fan, right? Really thinking about getting my girlfriend a Tyler Myers jersey for Christmas. I know she'll love it. Straight up. And it was cool to see how much respect there is on that bench for that guy. And I know we've heard about it and we've seen about it in ways, right? Brock Besser, last week, letting Myers do his thing at the top of the celly after Besser scored a goal. There's a lot of love and respect for him, but there was a different energy that we got to see during the broadcast and at the game. And it's cool, man. It's cool. Like, I want to critique Myers' game right now just because I saw some things, but let's just leave it at that, okay? It's 420 somewhere. I'm being a nice guy right now, okay? Infamous saying the Canucks have 10 of 14 points so far. Sprong and Brandstrom look great. And PD scored, like I said, another win, 4 in a row. Let's effing go. A lot to break down there. Let's do it. Again, the Canucks, man, respectable. We're cheering for a good team. A handful of games ago, we're worried. We're stressed out. I'm going to therapy, man. Straight up. I'm trying to get a raise so I can go to therapy. It's tough, but there they are winning 4 straight games. And before you know it, they played 7 and they've picked up points in 6 of them. They don't got the number 1 goalie. They're missing Dakota Joshua. They got like 8 new players on this team. Respect. Daniel Sprong played hard today. Was Tocchet's favorite player today. And I'm starting to think that Pius Suter, Arshdeep Baines, and Daniel Sprong can do a lot for the Vancouver Canucks over the next week, right? Before Joshua comes back. And one thing that they'll mainly do is make a decision very difficult for the Vancouver Canucks, and that's who they're going to let go to fit all these guys in their active roster, right? Again, if Sprong fits with that line, and you could see it, it makes you question, who's it going to be? And a part of me thinks that Vincent Desharnais might get waived. I hate to be that guy, but they can get him through. Can they get Juleson through? I don't know. They're not taking Brandstrom out of the lineup. And look at how they talk about Arshdeep Baines. I don't know if he's going to get a spot over Joshua. Like, as in, like, when Joshua comes back, like, it's going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not that guy yet. And it's not going to be for years and years and years. But hell yeah, it's going to be the case with Sprong. Like, they're battling. They're battling. Like, you're not letting all these guys, it's something's going to happen. What's going to happen? I don't know. a bundle of confusion coming out of my mouth, okay? But I just don't know what they're going to do here. And a part of me thinks, again, based on everyone that is on the outside potentially looking in when it comes to game-by-game action, it looks like they may not want to lose anyone. And a part of me is now thinking that maybe they signed Vincent Darnay to a 2-year deal worth $2 million per because they know he's a project and they know with that type of deal, nobody's going to pick this guy up off waivers. Difficult decisions, man. And Sprong, man, he can make it maybe easier for them if he does really well. And before you know it, now they have a guy scoring goals that they could potentially use in a trade package for a player that can improve their decor. Again, options. Like it's a bit of a conundrum. Is that the right word? And I'm here for it. I'm excited to see what Alvin and Rutherford do. The Brandstrom point, though. Again, Brandstrom, you're not taking this guy out of the lineup. He's making it hard, too. Forward's back right now. You got 8 NHL defensemen up on your full roster. Again, you got 13, what's the number? 13, 14 NHL-capable forwards on your roster, too. Brandstrom is not being sent down. He's a big reason why the Canucks are looking a lot better game by game, or at least in spurts, long spurts throughout these games, and winning games. What's the record with him in the lineup? Is it 4-0? He's doing the most, and we brought up the whole Gustav Forsling thing, right? Gustav Forsling. I know it sounds so crazy, but I feel as if there's a small chance, and the Canucks don't get really lucky in these cases, but there's a small chance that he got humbled over the last couple of months, right? Ottawa doesn't pick up his option, doesn't want to pay him $2 million after he played 150 games for them, after, again, Begsy brought it up. He didn't score a lot of points, but every single Ottawa Senators defenseman that played with him played better. But they didn't want to give him $2 million. And nobody really wanted to sign him in the offseason. And Colorado did. And what do? They traded him for a 4th-round pick and some caps and some money. And Tucker Pullman. What? They gave him away for free. And what did the Canucks do? The Canucks tried giving him away for free. They waived him. I wonder how much he got humbled over the last 30, 40, 50 days. And before you know it, he's gotten this chance with the Vancouver Canucks with Adam Foote and Sergei Gonchar. And he's looked strong. He's looked good. And I'll say it again. He's a player the Canucks need. That player type is so important. This team cannot move forward with thinking that they can have Vincent Desharnais and Forbort, or Vincent Desharnais and Juleson, or Forbort and Juleson be their third pairing. That is not the case, especially when Soucy and Myers are not. They're not playing perfect hockey right now, okay? Branson, man, who would have thought, man? Who would have thought? Maybe the humbling experience gets the best out of this guy. He's still playing for a new contract, too. I wonder if there's a little bit of Gustav Forsling in Brandstrom, man. Angela's saying Höglander for a package for a right-handed defenseman. I don't know if this team's trading Höglander. They signed him to a team-friendly deal, and maybe you can use that fact as leverage in a trade, right? Höglander's a great player, and you only have to pay him this much. Boom, bam. Why wouldn't you want him? But at the same time, he's been one of our best players through the first 7 games of the season, and he's learning a lot from Connor Garland. Similar player types, and the tenacity that Höglander showed in 7 games in a row is very similar to the level of tenacity that Garland has shown. Now, Garland, as Matt is saying again, is the number 1 Canuck that he would want a beer with. Yo, Connor Garland's been the best Vancouver Canuck outside of Quinn Hughes this season. That's crazy. Game by game. I feel as if he could have 2 points per game. He's out there making plays, and man, he's making Pettersson a better hockey player right now. He's warming Pettersson up. He's being a good friend to Elias, and those two are working off each other, and it's not a stretch to say that Connor Garland is driving that line. Unreal. Dingbat saying, I like how Garland is finally getting paid like a second liner. I think he might have said played like a second liner. And if you really look at his contract too, he's kind of in the middle there, right? Second, third liner when it comes to his salary and what he brings. But he's playing like a top 6 winger. And the irony in all this is another quote unquote boring game from Jake DeBrusk. And I'm not going to hate too much because there's a floor to that guy that you appreciate as well. And there's also this outlook of what could happen in the playoffs and how he could, again, show what he did in Boston here in Vancouver. And that's exciting. Okay. I'm patient for that. The floor in the playoffs, take your time, Jake DeBrusk. But Connor Garland, man, he's making us be a lot nicer to Jake DeBrusk. And that is just the truth, because this dude is coming out to play, and this dude is, man, oh, man. He's playing instinctual. He's playing fun. He's doing all the Connor Garland things, but I feel as if he's feeling himself, and the confidence is oozing, and you want guys on your team that feel like they can make plays all the time, and Connor Garland is doing that, and for the second time, he is driving that line with Elias Pettersson. Man, oh, man. Oh, let's get out of here, though, okay? It's late. It's 11:40, dude. The Packers play tomorrow morning. I got a family. And I also got to talk to you guys after every game, okay? Go Canucks, go. Another win. 4-1-2. Impressive start. Got to be proud of the boys. And collectively, they did it as a team, right? They got, 4 goals from 4 lines. That's mad impressive. And let's take it one game at a time. One love to Surrey, and one love in you and you and you and you, and one love to Guilford. My name is Kyle Bowen, KYLEBHAWAN. If you did enjoy the show, hit the like button. Subscribe to the show on the podcast side. Leave us a nice review, okay? Christmas is coming up in a couple of days. Let's climb ourselves out of the 4 spot, okay? I know more people are watching. Let's give us a review and see what happens, okay? One love. Have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good night. If you're not watching this live, then we don't know when you're watching this. The Locked On Podcast Network and the Don't Doze Art Lab and Kyle Bowen and Trevor Beggs. We truly do appreciate whenever you're doing so. Enjoy your night again. Peace.